and welcome to another episode of Ljubljana Talks, recorded live here in Frankfurt at IMEX 2025. We are in the center of action. We are on a Wednesday, which we know is the busiest day, and somehow we managed to get two amazing guests here so that Gorazd and I can share with you some great content. So with Gorazd and myself, we have the pleasure of having Ciara Gallagher from Fáilte, Ireland, and Greg Carew from Abbey Conferences. Thank you very much for taking your time. It's a pleasure having you. And let me start with you, Ciara. What's new at Fáilte, Ireland?
Well, firstly, thank you for having us. It's fantastic to be here. Delighted to say we are literally about to launch our brand new business event strategy on our stand, just across the floor there. And we are lucky enough to have our tourism minister, who has travelled all the way from Ireland to be with us here today to officially launch the business event strategy. It's something we've been on a journey for quite a while doing it. Again, led out by our government department, so there's full buy-in from the government into the strategy, which is fantastic, and also very much supported by our industry. So it was very much co-created, the strategy. So we had various different industry groups all feeding into it to develop it. It's I suppose what we've done is moved away from the traditional measurement of simply heads in beds, and that's all we were ever measured on in the past. And very much the tourism focused to go beyond tourism now. So we've essentially got three pillars within the strategy. We focus not only on the economic benefits of hosting events in Ireland, but also the social benefits and the environmental benefits. So we've been working on a long journey to get to this stage, and I suppose what we're doing is giving all three pillars equal weighting. And we were working on developing brand new frameworks all around maximising the benefits of hosting conferences outside of the four walls of the convention centres.
Congrats, that's amazing, Greg. What does it mean for you, for your agency, such a strategy? Is it a game changer for an agency like yours?
I think it definitely is, because I suppose, like, as a PCO, we're obviously constantly trying to recruit ambassadors as well, and sometimes it's not easy. You've got a busy professor at university or a busy surgeon, and when you start to talk to them about the potential impact bringing in a conference in could have on their university, on their sector, on policy in the country, in their subject matter, for example, it's a big draw, and it's a big kind of goal for them, and they see the value of the business event. It's not just bringing 500 people into a city or a country for a few days, and the value of that. The value is, okay, this conference could be a driver for change. This conference could be really just a tool to raise awareness and obviously just solve a challenge that's currently there. So, and I think that's what the strategy really, the business event strategy now really aligns with what government priorities are. I think that's a big thing as well, and obviously helps with the backing of government as well, because we're actually using business events to help solve problems that are there in our country and in our city. So it's really positive from our point of view, because it hopefully means more events, so we get to work on more events, so we all do better. I guess even from a PCO perspective, maybe shines a light a little bit more on conferences in general and our industry in general, in the media a bit more. I know there's a big event coming up this year, the European Autism Congress, which again is really shining a light obviously on the subject of autism, but also obviously on Congress world in general as well. So I think it's all really positive, and shows the importance of what we all do collectively as well. As I said, we're not just booking venues and bringing people into a country. We're really helping to change things as well.
So definitely you're building up a transformative industry. But tell us more about how you are organized in the in your country. Actually, what is the structure of organization? So I would say from up to down. How it works.
Yeah. Well, I suppose starting with our government department, we very recently moved from a government department or a ministry of tourism specifically into a ministry of tourism, enterprise and employment. And the wonderful thing about that is that we've got such a strong government buy-in to our overall strategy, because they're also responsible for the agencies that bring inward investment into the country, as well as all of our exports and our small and medium enterprises. And big business events in Ireland is big business. It's worth about €1 billion to the country a year. It supports over 22,000 jobs, and it also supports about 20,000 SMEs. And I think that's critical for our minister, who's responsible for driving business to the SME sector within the country. So it's really important. So we have, first of all, we've got our department. Then you've got the National Tourism Development Authority, which is Fáilte, Ireland. We're kind of a funny little country because for the size of us, we actually have 3 tourism boards. So we get very complicated. So we've got 2 agencies that work at home, which would be considered development authorities. And Fáilte Ireland would be one of those tourism development authorities alongside Tourism Northern Ireland. And then we have our sister agency, Tourism Ireland, that works in the international marketplace and would be responsible for the broader promotion of business events around the globe.
Do you have local convention bureaus?
Excuse me, we do, yes. We have local convention bureau in all of our major cities. We have Dublin, which is actually in under the Fáilte Ireland umbrella. And then we support convention bureaus in Cork, Kerry, Shannon, Galway, Belfast, Derry.
But are they independent, or they're a part of your institution?
They're not part of our institution, but we would heavily support them through practical and financial support.
So you mentioned some really, really fascinating numbers, which on their own are very powerful and indicate how strong the meetings and events industry is in Ireland. And I mean, we all look up to Ireland in many ways in this regard, because I think you have a really good way of collecting data as well. But what was your approach towards creating an advocacy pitch towards your decision makers so that they understand and that the minister is here today?
That's a really good question, Jan. And I think it's actually a lot of destinations are quite jealous, I think, to say the least, because we're incredibly fortunate to have that buy-in. And actually, believe it or not, it all started at a policy forum here at IMEX about 3 years ago.
Wow.
We brought along our senior government officials, and we were actually talking about impact back then, and there was a light bulb moment. That's
really good. And you managed to ride the wave all the way till the completion of the strategy.
Well, actually, in the government department led out on developing that strategy, supported by the tourism agencies and the industry.
Greg, a question for you. So, a new strategy. What does it really mean for you? How do you see it impact your job?
I think it really focuses in on the key objectives and really helps us, I suppose, even from a bidding perspective, telling our story. You know, and you mentioned about Ireland's success and those good numbers, and a lot of it does come down to, I think we're a nation of storytellers in many ways, but a lot of, you know, the story we tell in our bids and in our selling our destination. And again, that ties back into the legacy and impact, where we're really telling the story. We're not just showcasing, here's our conference centre, here's our hotels. You know, this is the impact the conference could have. This is what we need in this sector in our country. This is how the conference can help that. So there's a story, there's an investment, and I think key decision makers buy into that. So I think that really helps. I know Ciara might talk about the subvention piece as well, but I know that the subvention is going to be reviewed now and looked at again, aligned with the strategy. So again, that also means a big thing for us. It's easier for us to talk with these key elements with clients, because there's an incentive there for them to promote this as part of the conference. But again, all of this makes a big difference, and it's, I guess, really encouraging from our side to see the minister here today, to see the focus that government are putting on and seeing the value in conferences. You know, it's something that we obviously believe in ourselves and we try and showcase, but it's clear to see that, you know, government are really behind this, and that's just so encouraging for all of us in this industry.
Well, sustainability was always high on your agenda. We also saw a lot of great campaigns in the past, sustainable campaigns and the actions. How is now sustainability defined in your new strategy?
I suppose it's top of our agenda. We working very closely with our industry to try and support them to operate in as sustainable a manner as we possibly can. Our Fáilte Ireland Tourism Development Authority have set up a climate action programme. We offer bespoke services and mentors to all of our hotels and our venues, etc., all around the country, and working really closely with them for them to reduce their overall carbon footprint, to make it easier, obviously, for when a delegate comes to the country to reduce their footprint. And I suppose the key with the whole impact and the social pillar is all about maximising the benefits from hosting events in the country. So a positive handprint as opposed to the negative footprint developed from the carbon. So it almost offsets it. But not just, I suppose, the climate action programme. We're doing so much more, as a lot of destinations are developing sustainability toolkits so that you can operate your event in is the most sustainable manner we possibly can. We've just developed a carbon calculator. So what we're measuring the carbon footprint of every event that comes into the country. And then we are going to put measures in place to keep working with everybody in reducing that carbon footprint year on year. We'd also hope to be able to share that information with future destinations. So when an association comes to Ireland this year and is moving to Ljubljana next year, we would hope to be able to share the details of that from the carbon calculator so that you could put methods in place to try and reduce that overall footprint.
So you're actually covering all 4 pillars of sustainable transformation, carbon management, you said,
yes.
Then offset management, I heard about it, then impact management you are doing, and of course compliance management, which is quite hard in European Union. But Greg, what about associations? How do they react on this?
I think, well,
things?
look,
Because this is amazing, by the way.
yeah, I mean, I think from a, first of all, sustainability perspective, I think all associations are totally buying into that and have been for the last number of years. Legacy and impact, I mean, I think I see there's definitely an increased take up on that. And we were talking before this, we mentioned there's a couple of associations we work with, and we're almost seeing those cities that have really focused in on the local impact and kind of the value beyond the conference itself. There's a template there for that association then, and it's been actually further developed year after year and almost becomes competitive with new host cities where they're trying to do better than the host city done in the year. But do you know what I mean? There's a local, they've seen the impact that it's had in a certain city, and they've said, can we emulate that in our city? And there's that competition between the local hosts to do that, but which is fantastic, and the association, everyone benefits that, but crucially, obviously, the local community benefited from it then as well. So I think it's all about the sharing of knowledge, like Ciara mentioned. So it's with the associations year on year. So there's the next host can then benefit from what the previous hosts have done, a bit like what Ciara is saying there about measuring the carbon footprint of events in Ireland. If they go to Ljubljana or wherever they go the following year, we can share that data, and even just around the sustainability toolkits that we're all contributing to that. And any event in Ireland, whether it's hosted by a local PCO or an in-house association, whoever it is, can benefit from all of this. So I think that's really key.
It's very
Words to action. That's
yeah. From words to action. Yeah. The question I have, I'm gonna ask you actually, Ciara.
Okay.
If everything goes according to plan and strategy, what is your vision at the end of the strategy?
We have very clear targets. I suppose we are looking to grow on an average 8% growth rate year on year out to 2030. That's ahead of leisure. So leisure targets are around 6%. We obviously hope to be able to contribute to the government objectives of reducing carbon by 45% by 2030 as well. We're looking to, I suppose, support the industry in creating long-term sustainable jobs within the business events sector. We're looking to provide lots of opportunities for our own industry to get into the marketplace and get in front of prospective buyers and planners and showcase Ireland as a very positive destination and build on our global reputation. We've lots more under the big long list of targets that we have to achieve by 2030. But that would be what success would look like, that we would be considered to be leading in terms of the social, the environmental and the economic.
Greg, if it all goes according to plan, what is your expectation at the end of the strategy?
I'll be retired in 10 years' time. That's what I said. No, I think if it all goes according to plan, I think it's shining a light as well on the industry, on what we do. And Ciara mentioned jobs there. Recruitment and attracting talent into our industry. It's not always easy. And I think the public awareness of these events and of of the role that PCOs can play and the role that everyone plays in, and that these events can be drivers of change. Just raises awareness of our industry as well, apart from anything else, and helps attract talent. So it just leaves our industry in a better place, leaves all our companies and the quality of service we provide in a better place as well. And look, hopefully more events to Ireland and more events for all our companies to work on. Yeah. Well, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Yeah.
Is with the new strategy also some new brand strategy, or it's just a general strategy, or there is a new narrative of Ireland now with this new
brand? I think that's possibly maybe my next job, to have a little look at the brand. We've operated under the Meet in Ireland brand is what we operate under in the international marketplace. I mentioned our 3 tourism agencies for our small little island. We all operate under the one Meet in Ireland brand to avoid any sort of confusion in the international marketplace. So I think that's really important, that we all show up with the one clear message when we're out there talking to planners and helping them to choose Ireland as a destination for their next business event.
And my last question is, what would be your dream event to host in your country for both of you?
That's a great question. Well, I'm a big golfer. I'm very fortunate to have the Ryder Cup in Ireland in 2 years' time now, and had it back in 2006. We'll have some European Championship matches. I'm a big football fan too, so I think we're having our dream events. To be honest with you, from my perspective, over the next few years. Yeah.
Super.
Very hard to pick one in particular, but definitely with the new strategy, I genuinely feel that we are in a position where we can actually help solve global challenges. And I think any event that can help do that, and it can help make Ireland a better place to live, to work, to visit in, and to make the globe a better place for the environment, etc., I think would be what we'd hope to achieve.
On 35%.
On one side, we have opened so many things that I would love to ask. But on the other side, we've actually are coming towards the end of our time, because Jure, when he stands over there, that is how we know that we've had our time. Is there anything else you would like to add as a message to the viewers regarding the strategy, regarding Ireland, or what to expect or what to look forward to?
You can certainly expect 100,000 welcomes. You can expect us to roll out the green carpet for all of our visitors that come to our destination. And as we say in Ireland, Céad Míle Fáilte, which is 100,000 welcomes in Irish. And that's what any delegate and any planner can expect to receive when they come to our little green island.
Brilliant.
I think Ciara summed it up perfectly. It's the welcome, it's the people, it's what we do, and yeah, come and experience it for yourself.
There we go. So Ljubljana Talks has a green wall, you have a green carpet. It's all getting green. Perfect. Thank you so much for your time, for coming to Ljubljana Talks.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
It was a pleasure, and thank you everybody for watching, and see you at the next Ljubljana Talk.